Hi everyone, this is Editor Child with Books of Childs, and we are reading the 100 Simple Secrets of Successful People by David Niven Ph.D. Today we are reading chapter 94, Keep Your Goals Where You Can See Them. Now, this is pretty important, especially over a lifetime. Your goals should be an ever-present part of your life, offering you direction and encouragement. Now, here's the important thing, or a good note here. Don't come up with a list of goals and just hide them somewhere and check in after multiple decades if you've reached them. Don't just, read it and chuck it in a chest somewhere. Instead, create them, use them, follow them, update them, and live by them. The story they have is of a student counselor who works with high school students and works hard at convincing them that planning your life, career planning, is all a lifelong process. You have to start as soon as you can, make the right decisions, and set yourself on a goal and keep a sense of direction and a sense of purpose. The case study there is by Sigmund in 1999. Successful people spend at least 15 minutes every day thinking about what they are doing and can do to improve their lives. Now, I have few lists like this. I say that as a personal failing, because the few I have, I've actually looked at and they failed miserably. In all honesty, and it was specifically due to certain factors out of my control, and also due to the fact that I didn't fully plan it out. A lot of the times in life you will have bigger decisions that quite simply make others go away. I've had some pretty big changes in life plans that quite frankly necessitated letting go of others. And there was a previous chapter in this book that went about the adaptability of your goals. It's also necessary because you will, if you start out leaving school with a list of goals, a large proportion of those will not be reached. And it's not saying you'll fail at them. You'll quite likely change them. You'll quite likely find that you didn't want to do certain ones of them, and that your life took a different direction. Mine certainly has multiple times. It's taken multiple directions from not so much direction of study, but interestingly enough, despite the fact that I knew what I wanted to do, knew what I wanted to study, even within that field, it's taken rapid turns from where I thought it would go. Massive turns. You really can't predict it unless you're very well grounded in it. And that doesn't just mean yourself, it means the world you live in. Quite simply, the reason I didn't go into the direction I initially wanted to was there was no interest, there was no positions. So I simply didn't develop the skill set because I couldn't find the opportunity to do so. But fortunately I had the opportunity to develop skill sets that I fairly liked and I excelled in, and instead of losing a passion, I just went in there and found a passion again for doing a bit of a different path in work, and it's definitely helped me. And then once again, a few years later, made a massive change in conceptually the type of company that I worked in. So your life will take changes. The reason I changed the first one was basically just to get a job. The country I grew up in didn't have a lot of opportunity, so you took what you could get. And the last major change I took because I'd moved, and cost of living is absolutely brutal in first world countries, absolutely a nightmare compared to third world countries, for the vast majority of stuff. And I desperately needed to escape the city. I desperately needed to escape. It was crushing. It was absolutely brutal. I've never met a place as unfathomably brutal economically as a first world city. It is quite horrendous. They strip you to the bone for everything they can get. So I really needed to leave that situation. Fundamentally, a massive change in life plans, but it was necessary. So your goals will shift like that. You will end up in places at times where you're like, how on earth did I get here? But if that's at least part of some plan, some sensible direction you're working through, then at least you have structure. Don't be wayward and driven by the wind. Have some semblance of structure to your life, so that at least when you look at these lists, you know how you got there. And you planned it, you slotted it into your life, and you know the way forward, rather than being battered about by the wind. So that's what I'd be looking at, to going into forward at least, regaining a proper sense of stability and structure, and working towards more solid goals. It takes effort, as I said, 15 minutes a day. But these people spend thinking about it, but it takes a lot of effort to set up the plans, hold to them, build the habits. So it's not going to be as easy as it is, but it's more worthwhile than simply, throwing it out there with no plan and hoping you end up in the right place. That's a very bad way of going about it. So yeah, that's been chapter 94 of the 100 Simple Secrets of Successful People by David Niven Ph.D. This has been Editor Child of Books of Child, and I hope you had a good day. I hope you have an even better day after hearing this, and I'll see you in the next chapter of this wonderful book. So thank you very much, and have a very good day. Bye bye.